Let's kick off the new year with 20 new shortcuts, like waking up to a new inspirational quote every morning. Search for any book or author and then add it to reminders with a link to buy, page numbers, and more. Have your iPhone wallpaper automatically change when your sports team has a game today. An update to my popular movie and TV show shortcut, how to use shortcuts for mail merges, quickly markup and frame a screenshot, and a ton more. First up, a request I've gotten pretty often is a book finder. Well, I've used the Open Library API where you don't need a key and it's totally free to use to be able to search for books either by title, author, or both, and then add it to reminders with even a link to buy. This version is going to use Amazon. You can search for any book title. I'll search for one of my favorite books, The Elements of Eloquence. If you don't know the author, you can just leave it blank, and it's going to search the Open Library database and present you with multiple choices. You can see the title, the author, what year it was released, and even how many pages the book is. When you tap an option, it's now going to search Amazon in the background, then show you options to buy the book on Amazon, look to see which looks like the right book, and it's going to add it to a reminders list. As you can see, I've been testing it quite a number of times, but you'll see here at the bottom, The Elements of Eloquence, author, published, pages, and a link to buy the book on Amazon. Now, if you don't know the title of a book or you just want to browse by author, you can leave the first one blank and then just search for something like Tolkien. And now when you tap done, this might take a little while, especially if there's a large collection of books by that author. You'll see all the options here by that author. You can choose one, and it should add it to my reminders list. And there you'll see at the bottom, the Silmarillion. Now I have another version of this shortcut that searches Apple books rather than Amazon. And remember, links to download all these shortcuts for free are down in the description. But this will search Apple books. So maybe I'm looking for the Steve Jobs biography. If you don't know the author, just leave it blank. It'll still search the Open Library API for the book results. Pick the one you want, and now it's going to search the Apple Bookstore, and I see options there. Tap one of those, and it will add that link to the reminder, just like it did the Amazon ones before it. And remember, if you want these books to be added to a certain list in the Reminders app, just scroll to the very bottom of the shortcut, and here where you see Add Chosen Book Title to, just change Inbox to the Reminders list of your choice. Next, I wanted to see if I could create a shortcut that would add an inspirational quote on top of a wallpaper every day. Well, this does exactly that. It's going to pull an inspirational quote, overlay it on a wallpaper, and then you can automate this to run every morning and wake up to that new wallpaper. You'll see this is what it looks like on the lock screen and home screen. Now it's doing a couple things in the background. First, I realized that ChatGPT was using the same quotes over and over again. So I do have this creating an Apple note called Wallpaper Quotes. And every time I ask ChatGPT for a new quote, it's going to check that note to make sure it never duplicates, so you'll never see the same quote twice. Also, this is choosing one of the random free wallpapers from Basic Apple Guy's September Gradients. Visit basicappleguy.com for even more wallpapers. My current wallpaper right now is his latest hexagon wallpaper pack, but it's going to pick a different one of those September gradients every time. And at the very bottom of this shortcut, just tap Wallpaper 7 and choose the lock screen home screen pair that you want it to set automatically. Remove this quick look action and then it will just happen in the background automatically. Then you can automate it to run every morning at sunrise. I also have another version of that same wallpaper, but this time I'm using an action from Toolbox Pro, because Toolbox Pro, this create image from plain text, allows you to choose a different font, has more options for font size and styling, and you can tap Georgia and you have a bunch of different fonts here. So this one's called Quote Wallpapers Fancy because it does it in Georgia font instead of the regular built-in font. Links to both those versions down below. Now this next one is full credit to someone in my Shortcuts community. I created a shortcut a few months ago that allows you to add events from a sports team to your calendar, but it was pretty hard to find the sports team through that long list. Well, Jeremy in the Shortcuts community made an even better version, and that's what I'm going to show you now. Which, by the way, you can join my Shortcuts community for free by going to shortcut.bot. Join over 3,500 people who are now in the community, sharing their shortcuts, improving on ones that I've built. And you can support the community and my channel by becoming a paying member, and you get access to my live Shortcuts weekly broadcast. You can watch all of my live stream replays where I share shortcuts every week. They're always shared here first before anywhere else. My shortcut of the week where I share a new one before it even goes to the live streams right here. Plus you get priority shortcuts request where I answer every question, access to my Shortcuts GPT, and more. I appreciate all of those who already support the community, and if you'd like to join, you can go to shortcut.bot. So Jeremy modified this shortcut, and it allows you to choose a sports league first, and then it's easier to find the team you're looking for. So you can choose something like NBA, then you'll see all the teams in the NBA league. You even see the nice little icon next to it. Then you can choose Golden State Warriors. Then it's going to get all the upcoming events for that sports team and give you the option to add each one to your calendar. It's also using Apple Intelligence to format it a little nicer. You can choose what calendar you want it to be added to, and you can also choose that in the action directly. And then this is what the event will look like with the teams, where it's being played in the location field, the day and time, and even the coverage is down here in the event notes. In this very bottom action, you'll see here, this is where it's adding the games to your calendar. You can choose what calendar you want every time here rather than ask each time. And if you turn off Show Compose Sheet, it'll just add all the events automatically without any action on your part. But then I started thinking, could you actually change your iPhone wallpaper if your favorite sports team has a game today? Well, that's what I call Wallpaper for Game Day. This is also using the Apple Sports action, and you can get upcoming events for any specific team. I chose Golden State Warriors, and if there is a game today where the start date is today's date, then I have a wallpaper here that I'm choosing from my iCloud files and setting it as my wallpaper. Now, there actually is a Golden State Warriors game today, and you'll see my wallpaper is currently the basic Apple Guy hexagons. Well, when I play this, it'll check if there's a game today, and if there is, boom, sets my wallpaper with the Golden State Warriors logo. Now, all you have to do to customize this for your team is choose your team right here. Just tap the team and then choose it in this list, and then choose your wallpaper image right here. I save mine in iCloud Drive. You choose the file here, and then choose your wallpaper lock screen and home screen combination that you want it to change. Then you can automate this to run every morning at sunrise, and you'll know if there's a game today because your wallpaper will be changed. Next, I've had lots of versions of my movie and TV show to reminders or notes. Well, I updated it even further. Number one, I made a version without any Apple Intelligence. So if you don't have Apple Intelligence on your phone, run this shortcut where it says no AI, link below, then you can choose to search for any movie or TV show. Let's search for Tron Ares. I did watch it recently, it was alright. When you search for the movie, it's going to show you results from the movie database. You can tap it, and then it's going to pull where you can stream it. It's not formatted as nicely as the Apple Intelligence version, but it still gets the job done. Tap which one looks like the streaming service you want to use, and then it adds it to my movies reminder list. There it is, Tron Ares, stream on Disney+. And if I tap the link that was attached to this reminder, it's going to open in the Disney Plus app, and there I am on the movie. But I made an even nicer version with Apple Intelligence. So this one, you can still search for movies and TV shows. I'll go with movie. This time, let's search for Frankenstein. I'll search for that, quickly see results from the movie database. I'll choose the top one. Then it's going to show me where to stream this. This part is using Apple Intelligence, so it formats it a little nicer. I'll choose the link, and then it's going to add it to that same reminders list, but it's also going to add the YouTube link to the trailer. So now in this list of movies and TV shows that I want to see, I can see where to stream it, a link to stream it, so I can tap right here and it'll open the Netflix app. Or if I want to watch the trailer, I can tap this YouTube URL and it's going to load the trailer right here. I thought that was a fun little addition to this movie and TV show reminder finder. And if you run it again, you can also search for TV shows. This time let's search for one of my favorites, The Good Place. We'll see results from the movie database as well. There it is, aired on NBC back in 2016. It will still search where to stream it. Here we have our streaming options. I'll choose Prime Video, and it's going to create that reminder. I'll go to the bottom. We have both the TV show or the movie poster attached to the reminder, where to stream. Also shows you the TV show status. So if it's in production or if it's ended or canceled, it will actually say that in the status part. And then it will have the link to watch it on Amazon. And if you search for a TV show that's still in production, let's go with Pluribus. There it is on 2025. We'll choose to stream it on Apple TV. That's pretty much the only place to watch it. And here it is at the bottom. We have the poster. Status is returning series, meaning it's coming back for another season. And we can tap the link and it's going to open it in the Apple TV app, ready to play episode 1. Next, I've had several requests about using shortcuts to email, but customizing first name, last name, company, and other information based on a contact. Well, that's my mail merge from contact shortcut. It's going to ask you for an email subject, an email body, and then you can choose a group in your contacts app. So I chose holidays, but make sure you choose that, and that'll be a group of contacts. Then it's going to send an email individually to each contact in that group, customizing it wherever you put first name, last name, company, or whatever other info you'd like. So if I run this, it's going to ask, what is the subject? I'll say, Happy New Year. What is the body text? Let's get together for lunch. And now it's going to customize both the subject and email body. And you'll see the subject is using the contact first name. Also in the email body, it used the first name, and it has my subject and body of the email, just like I specified. And then once I send it, it'll then pop up the next email with the next contact customized for them. And you can also disable that by turning off Show Compose Sheet, and then it will send all the emails to every contact in that group automatically. Now, if you wanted to adjust where the first name or last name appears, here in these text blocks, you'll see this is the subject, this is the body of the text. You'll see where it says first name. You can tap that and choose any of the information from the contact. It could be last name, email addresses, birthdays, maybe even the nickname, or if you want to mention the company that that person works for. Remember, each contact has to have that information in order for it to do the mail merge, but then you can copy and paste or use that variable however many times you would like in the subject and body of your message. Next, I had someone request a simple app wish list. A lot of times they see an app, they want to save it for later and remember to download it. Well, you can show this in the share sheet or just copy an app URL to your clipboard and then run the app wish list shortcut. Let's go to one of my favorite apps and what I use to edit my podcast every day, which, by the way, you can listen to my tech podcast, Primary Technology, link above and down below. It's also here on YouTube. And I'll tap the share button here on an app, tap more, and then go down to my app wish list shortcut. It's right here. I'll tap app wish list. That shortcut's going to run in the background, and then it's going to add it to a reminders list. This time I had to go to my inbox, and you'll see at the bottom of my inbox list, there's the title of the app, its star rating, whether it's free or the price, and a link back to that app, so you can just tap it and it'll bring you back to the App Store. Now this will also work if you just copy the link to that app to your clipboard, go back and just run the shortcut from there, tap always allow, and it'll do the same thing, add it to the bottom of your reminders list. This time you'll see the price, $2.99 is also stated, and a link back to the app. Remember, you can always change what reminders list it gets saved to. At the bottom action, just tap inbox and choose the list you want that to go to. Next, I've had a few shortcuts about framing your screenshots nicely, but what if you want to mark up a screenshot before it's framed? Well, this is going to do exactly that. You can choose a screenshot or take a screenshot. We'll choose to take a screenshot here, and you can run this from the control center, and the control center will hide. Well, now we have our screenshot here, and it automatically goes up into markup mode. Well, I'll mark this up with an arrow. Remember, just hold your finger for a second, and then it will straighten that arrow out. Same thing with a circle or shape. And once I mark it up, I'll tap the blue check. It will use ShareShot, a great third-party app in the background, to frame it. I can choose what gradient background I want. And then I'm going to have a way to share it right here. I'll save the image so we can take a look. And if I go to my photos, there's the screenshot with my markup, the arrow and the circle on the gradient, all framed nicely. So now you can both mark up and frame a screenshot all with one shortcut. Next, I've created a lot of shortcuts that transcribe, summarize videos and files. And this one is that, but basically works on your photo library. So when you run it, choose a video you have here in your photo library. It's going to convert that to an audio, transcribe it automatically, summarize it, and then add all that information to an Apple Note and attach the video, so you'll have everything in one place. And now we have our note, title, summary, key points, and it's even going to attach the audio file that it created when it encoded that video. So you have it all here in one place, and you can even listen back to that audio file if you want to hear what it sounds like. Next, I have a few YouTube shortcuts here. First, if you wanted to just see the latest video from your favorite channels and just pick one to watch quickly, that's what this shortcut does. You can add RSS feeds for your favorite channels. It'll show you the latest video from any of those channels, and then just tap a video and it's going to load it in the YouTube app. Now I'm going to put a tool to this link where I found on Reddit, and this can quickly give you the RSS feed for any YouTube channel you'd like. You can also just put in the handle, like the handle for my channel, Beard FM, click search, and this will give you the RSS feed for all videos, including shorts, or if you just want long form videos, you can copy this URL right here. You can do just shorts, just live, individual playlist, whatever RSS feed you would like. And then here in the shortcut, when you open it, you'll see this top text block is all the different RSS feeds. Just hit return to create a new line, paste a new RSS feed for a YouTube channel you'd like to check, and then you're good to go. And every time you run it, you'll see the latest video or short, however you program it, tap a video, and it'll bring you right to it here in YouTube. Also, I had a request from someone to be able to reformat a YouTube thumbnail into a square. I think maybe if you're listening to music on YouTube and you want to be able to save the artwork, well, that shortcut will get the thumbnail, crop it to a square in the middle. You can either copy the link to the video or you can run this directly from the share sheet. Go down to Reformat YouTube Thumbnail. It'll run in the background, and now I have a square image of that thumbnail. Tap the share button and you can save it or send it wherever you'd like. Similarly, if you just want a shortcut that grabs a YouTube thumbnail but doesn't do anything like crop or adjust, and I'll throw in one more shortcut down in the description that just gets the thumbnail without adjusting it at all. So if I run this one from the share sheet, go down to share, tap more, scroll down to the get YouTube thumbnail, and it'll just get that static image. It'll ask where you want to save it, what folder. I'll just save it on my desktop here, tap done, and here in the Files app, there you'll see the thumbnail file is right there, and it's not cropped or adjusted in any way. That was a great video, by the way. You should watch it. I'll link it above. Next, if you want to look for a new podcast and just quickly start playing one, this is my top podcast by category. This is going to go by rating, but you can choose any of the categories here. I'll choose something like science. It'll show you some of the top rated podcasts in that category. Let's go with the Science Magazine podcast, and it's just going to automatically start playing the latest episode of that podcast. You'll see here in the dynamic island, it already started playing, and that's it. Just quickly start playing a new podcast, and you can browse by all the different categories. We can check out kids and family, go with story pirates, and then the latest episode of that show is just going to start playing automatically. Next, if you have a special date you want to remember, like an anniversary, and add it to your calendar for decades going forward, but also have it state whether it's the second or third anniversary, well, you can do that with this shortcut. Choose the special date right up here. We'll go with the date I already have set, and it's going to do a bunch of math to calculate all the year stuff and then adjust it each year, but it's going to show you the event. So this year, it's going to be the third anniversary, and if I tap the blue check, you'll see the next event, fourth anniversary, the next year, so on and so forth. If you don't want to approve every year, just expand this calendar action here towards the bottom, turn off Show Compose Sheet, and it will add all those dates to your calendar without you doing anything else. If you want to change the word anniversary to something else, you can adjust this text block, and remember, just choose the date that's special to you here at the very top. Next, someone wanted the ability to save a voicemail, actually get the audio file and save it to the Files app, but also name the file with the person the voicemail is from and the date it was sent. Well, this shortcut does exactly that, and you would run this from the control center. So let's go to the phone app to actually test this out. I'm going to tap a voicemail here. This is from my friend Nate. I'll tap the share button, go down, and then choose Save Voicemail and Rename. It's actually going to take a screenshot so Apple Intelligence can figure out who this is from. And you'll see that quickly it saved the file. I go over to my Files app, I saved it to the desktop, and you'll see the person's name, the date they left that voicemail, and an actual audio file of that voicemail I can save for whatever I'd like. All right, last few, and then I'm going to ask for some help. Next, someone asked if they could quickly have their Apple TV wake up, open an app, and start playing a video, like a workout video. I've been trying to get this to work with different AirPlay, saving a video as a file. This is the closest I can get, where you can wake an Apple TV, open a specific app on that Apple TV, and then you can choose play. The problem is this is just going to play whatever audio or random thing might have been playing before. So if anyone knows how to customize this even further, let me know, but I'll put a link to this down in the show notes. This is kind of useful if you just want to be able to open a specific app on an Apple TV with one go. And this next one, we actually have to go over to the Mac. Eric L. in the Shortcuts community told me about Shortcutie. I don't know how I hadn't heard about this before. This is from the same developer that makes the Actions app, which is an incredible Shortcuts app. But this one is for the Mac. Now, when you go to buy it, it's actually kind of pick your own price. I paid $10, but you can put whatever you want here. Now, you do have to give it permission to control your Mac, and you'll see why in a second. But now, once you have the app installed, you can go here in the Shortcuts app, go to Shortcutie, and you'll see all these actions that are now available to you. Not only getting certain status of your Mac, but setting certain things like default browser. You have a quit all apps action. You have things like set keyboard brightness, a bunch of stuff. But honestly, this was worth it for exactly one action, and that is the clear all notifications action. I immediately made this a single shortcut, and I also put it up here in my menu bar, clear notifications. So now when I open my notification center and I have a bunch of notifications, rather than trying to find the X and clear all, I literally just run the shortcut. You see it open the notification center quickly and automatically dismissed all the things. That one action is worth it, but there's also a ton of other actions that I'm going to start playing with. So get subscribed. I'm going to make shortcuts with these soon. All right, and finally, I need your help. I saw this Threads post. This is from Little Hacker, and he has a couple posts of how he made an Apple Shortcuts MCP that allows Claude to make shortcuts from scratch. And if this screen recording is to be believed, this looks incredible. Basically prompting Claude to make you a shortcut and it just making it on your Mac, adding it to the Shortcuts app, and you're good to go. Now, I found several MCP type servers on GitHub. I've installed a few. I was able to get it to see my shortcuts library, and I can even tell it run this shortcut with a specific name, and Claude can run the shortcut. So I got it to see my shortcuts library, but I've not been able to get it to do this, which is actually create shortcuts from scratch. But if you know or have found something on GitHub, or you know about this MCP connection with Claude that allows it to build shortcuts, please let me know down in the comments. You can go to my community and DM me there. I am obsessed with finding out if this is legit and if it works and how to do it on a Mac. I will definitely do an entire video of setting it up and how to use Claude to make shortcuts. This looks wild. And I'm also curious the limitations. Can I ask it to build stuff with API access like the movie database shortcut from this video? So very curious. If any of you know anything, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. Oh, and double side note, Dig is back if you weren't familiar, and I already created a Shortcuts community there. So if you wanted to be on Dig and post things, upvote stuff, the Shortcuts community is there too. I'll put a link down in the description. But as always, links to all the shortcuts I shared are down there as well, free to download, and I would love if you join my community at shortcut.bot, become a paying member, support this channel and me as a creator, and get all those benefits like the live stream, Shortcut of the Week, my Shortcuts GPT, and a ton more. I've also recently retrained that Shortcuts GPT, so it should have a little more brevity and not tell you a bunch of stuff when you ask it for something, and it's great for using APIs, also match text and regex commands. That's what I use my custom GPT for all the time. If you missed my top 20 shortcuts of 2025. That video is doing really well. We'd love if you watch it right up here. You can get Shortcuts merch also. That link is down below, and you can just see the merch down in the YouTube drawer. So if you want to represent Shortcuts everywhere, I even have an embroidered Shortcuts hoodie and or shirt. It's pretty cool. And I'll put one other video that YouTube thinks you'll really like right up here. I'm excited for a new year of Shortcuts. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.